Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. In today's video, I want to revisit one of the most free-to-play friendly, the most non-well friendly comp for Arena in the entire game. I do think is the #1 strategy for people that are non-Krakens in the entire game when we are talking about Arena. You might be struggling with Tag Team Arena. You might be struggling with some sort of teams that are faster than you. You might not have enough teams to put up the work. You might not have enough champions to do it. Well, this team might be the right team for you. The one thing you need in order to make this work is one specific champion, guys, that cannot be replaced because it's the only champion in the entire game that can do it. And guess what? Is an epic champion. So yes, you guessed it right. The champion that I'm talking about is no one else but Cardinal. Now, I've showcased a similar strategy like quite a while ago. We're gonna go a bit more in depth and we're gonna talk about quite a few different things that you can actually accomplish with a team like this. So we have Cardinal. Yes, if you want to make this strategy to work better, you need Stone Skin. If you've been farming a bit of Hydra, you're gonna get some good pieces even from the lowest difficulty of Hydra. If you've done even easy Hydra, you're gonna get Stone Skin from there as well. You don't need anything crazy in terms of stats, honestly. Now, I don't have flat pieces on the bottom, and the stats are pretty good on my Cardinal. Plus, I have Faction Guardians, Max Great Hall, so that will reflect in the build. But honestly, you don't need to have anything too crazy when we are talking about build. Basically, what exactly happens with Cardinal? So the A3 Redemption revives all that allies, heals them by 25% of their max HP, and boosts their thermometer to max. The only champion in the game that will boost the thermometer to max. So that means that once she revives your teammates, regardless if they have 100 speed, base speed, and they're going against 450 speed Siphi, your champion will go in front of their Siphi. Now, I know a lot of you guys are constantly coming new to the game and you don't know everything in the game, so hopefully this will actually help you guys out. When you're going against speed teams or crazier teams that you cannot defeat, Cardinal will make it work. So basically, that's what matters on her kit. The A1 has a 10% chance to place a poison, 20% fully booked. You know what? This was my very first Void Epic champion that I've ever pulled in Raid Shadow Legends. And you know what your boy Skratch did? Check this out, check the revive, and then it saw that Skratch pulled the Gorgorab and was like, yeah, I'm gonna feed this champion to make my Gorgorab to 6-star. Get out of here, Cardinal. And I fed my Cardinal. But she was the very first Void Epic I've pulled in the game. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. With the A2, heals a target ally by 30% of their max HP, places a 60% increased defense buff for 2 turns. Now, depending on what exactly you're planning to do with this champion. Now, I've tried a couple of different teams against Marichka Taras. They don't seem to be too good in terms of how fast you can farm them, so I kind of like gave up on it. We've been testing it with a couple of buddies, but basically you want it much tankier for the Platinum Arena. And what I'm going to showcase you right now is not a strategy to do Platinum Arena reset, okay? So this is not what I'm pointing out. How I mentioned, non-Kraken friendly, okay? Total stats on my Cardinal, 70k HP, 4k defense, 188 speed, and nothing else matters on her. Survivability, and you definitely don't want her too fast. If you have her too fast, what's going to happen? She might take a turn before the opponents actually get to take their own move and kill the rest of your team. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Let me just show you what sort of masteries I would suggest you guys to get as well. So basically, I would come down all the way like this. So getting lasting gifts is not going to be as important, how you've noticed on her kit, but going with Spirit Haste and going all the way down to Timely Intervention is actually going to be pretty good. Now, when we are talking about the other ones, you want to get her a bit tankier, because why not? Blast Proof, let's get Rejuvenation in case if we're gonna have Shield on somebody, get Resurgent, get Shadow Heal, get Delayed Death, get Retribution to have a cheeky counter attack, and Cycle of Revenge, get more thermometer. Like this, when the HP is gonna drop on our team, whenever something like this is gonna happen, we're gonna gain a lot of thermometer, okay? Timely Intervention will give us a lot of thermometer once our allies are going down. That will boost this champion to go in front of pretty much everyone. And not only that, but once she's gonna revive, she's really gonna do in some serious work. Now, I chose to use multiple champions with the team. I'm gonna use the Madame series. This is my Madame series. She's a bit too fast. I haven't been using her in a very long time. I had to remove the ring to make sure she's actually gonna die. Then as a nuker, we're gonna use Alika. She's a pretty strong nuker. We're not gonna use increased attack with her unless we kind of like need it, depending on what sort of teams we're fighting. We're gonna use a Reliquary Tender on immunity. And the reason why we're doing this is to show you how you can counter bomb teams as well with Cardinal. A lot of people are staying away from using a Cardinal against bomb teams. Well, guess what? It's gonna work just fine depending on what sort of teams you're fighting. Sometimes you might need a cleanser in the team to get rid of the bombs. Sometimes you might not need it. Then we're gonna have a Brackus, the shifter, which he's gonna give me increased attack. We can counter Lydia with his passive as well. We're gonna use a Baron just to deal some extra damage. And I do have a rare champion that we're gonna use as well, which is gonna be Daywalker, which doesn't seem to have any gear at the moment. His main purpose in life is to die before and kind of like to revive, block Lydia's passive, so then we can do the job. But basically, that's what we have in store, guys. Now, how I mentioned, you can definitely make this as one of your regular teams for Tag Team Arena. So when you are going in Tag Team Arena, it's pretty hard to fight every opponent. Like these teams right here, you know, you might have one speed team, but then you're like, okay, it's another speed team. I might not be able to beat it with my other go second. So you know what? Let me just bring in the Cardinal team because that's very reliable. A lot of times I'm doing takeovers for a lot of you guys out there that are struggling to get into the gold tiers for the Ramantu missions. And the one thing that I see, a lot of people have Cardinal and they're not using her, which is such a shame because it's such a powerful strategy, you know? So definitely make use of the strategy. So we're gonna look for a few different teams. We are kind of like in the middle in gold 5 at the moment. The teams that we're gonna find are fairly decent. Now, of course, this team does have counters as well. So one of the main counters for it is gonna be to have, for example, bring in a Warlord on the enemy team. That's gonna counter our team, right? If we don't have a high resistance Cardinal. Or for example, if you're bringing in, you're going against teams with Tormin, you can counter it. You bring in Doompriest, for example, make Doompriest the fastest, and when your Cardinal is gonna revive, Doompriest is gonna take her turn, is gonna remove the freeze from the other champions, and you can still use it against Tormin teams. We're actually do that. We're gonna do that as well, actually, but we're not gonna be able to buff with increased attack, you know, because that's gonna be a problem. If we're gonna go against a team like this, for example, buff strippers can potentially be an issue as well, of course. The thing with it is that it's not such a big deal, you know, because you know what? Yes, buff strippers is a 50-50 chance to remove the stone skin. If you put some reaction on your champion, if you have reaction for your Cardinal, that chance is gonna be much better. So it's basically gonna work in your favor, you know. So another thing to kind of like keep in mind, you know. So let's do that. You see the turn meter that I got on my Cardinal, just crazy. So right now we're gonna do this. Madame series is gonna do this. Strip the buffs. I'm gonna put increased attackers. Why not? And then I'm gonna have Alika coming in and bang, nuke down everybody. Easy peasy lemon squeezy on a team that was faster than us. I'm not even gonna bring that increased attack. Let me just see if I have a different nuker maybe that I've been keeping here hidden, you know, so like that we can actually get some more damage. You know what? I'm gonna go with Coldheart. I'm gonna have another nuker, and that's gonna be Coldheart. I don't suggest you to use Coldheart in Arena. Enemy max HP nukers are so bad for Arena, but you know what? Just for the fun of it, you see, we're already carrying on them. So we're gonna go in like this, bang. We're gonna put that on them, and then Alika is just gonna do the cleanup. You know, like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if we have increased attack. Alika, she's maxed so hard. She's such an underrated epic champion. Like you guys have no idea. Plus, I have the 4-star awakening on her, and I have a pretty decent Savage set on her. You know, kind of like the leftover from different things. Okay, this one, Lydia. So we do have a Chimera in there, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We're gonna drop my Coldheart, and we're gonna bring in. We can bring in Brackus. Brackus is gonna counter the passive in the exact same way. But you know what? I did mention that we're gonna use Daywalker. He's gonna do the same job. We're just not gonna get increased attack from him, which is fine. So let's just do it like that. So basically Lydia blocks passive, you see? Stone Skin, and what happened with the Stone Skin? Nothing. So now, right now, we just jinxed Lydia's passive. So now we can just revive back, and we have the full team back on duty, you know? And Lydia's passive is butter. And bang, Alika coming in, racking them down, baby. Racking them down. So you can use Daywalker. Of course, Brackus is much better because he will bring you increased attack, and that might be pretty important for a lot of you guys out there. So that's a thing to keep in mind, you know. These were level 100 players. It's not like we're fighting bot teams either. Now, another thing that I forgot to mention, they are the champions like Foley, who blocks revive. You're not going to be able to use it against those sort of teams, you know. So that's one thing to keep in mind, very important. This team right here, such a good example. We don't even need Reliquary Tender. We don't need nothing else but this. Now, because I do have Alessandra, I want to bring in a different nuker too, just in case if the Alessandra decides to kind of like smack me around, basically, you know. Because, hey, I'm going with a weak affinity against her, with Alika. So I need a different nuker to do some job in there as well. And I'm going to go for, I don't even know. Let's go in with Seer, you know. Again, not another champion that I wouldn't really suggest you to use in for arena unless you want to do like a buff nuke. But I'm just gonna use her A1 basically. You know, that's kind of like what I want to do. They cannot manipulate my turn meter either with a Stone Skin. So again, we are back at the top, doing that with Seer. I could have stripped the buffs with her if I wanted to, but I'm just gonna use the A1 and go and smack the Alessandra basically. You know, extra turn. Let me smack it again. Smack it. Smack them, and now. Bang! Alika coming in with the win. Okay, we have a bomb team right here. So we're gonna attack this bomb team. Let's just go against it, and we're gonna bring in our cleanser, because we might need the cleanser in here. And recently, I don't know how I'm always clicking on factions instead. I'm supposed to put in Alika too, because she's gonna actually no Alika, because she's weak affinity against Duchess. Okay, so you see, we got the bombs right now. It's no point to revive, honestly, because what's gonna happen after my Baron survived somehow, I honestly have no idea how he survived. So what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna put increased defense on myself, and I'm gonna cleanse the bombs, and I'm gonna let them kill my Baron, and now I'm gonna revive and do the work. So basically, you can easily counter bombs, sorry, not bombers, but bombers, yeah, with the Cardinal team as well. Bring in a cleanser, try to give some reaction on the cleanser. But what's gonna happen most of the times, like in this situation, that Gaius had 0 damage. Like, it wasn't even capable to kill my nuker, you know? And that's what's gonna happen all the time. Now, a lot of times you can go against teams like this if they have some damage, just with one reviver. You don't need a cleanser either, because the bombs will be up for 2 turns. A lot of times you're gonna see people using double bomber. So you're gonna see, for example, you're gonna see a Gaius, and you're gonna see the Rat King, for example. And that's when you're gonna need to kind of like, okay, I need to bring in another cleanser, just to make sure those bombs that are gonna get detonated for a 1 turn from a King Rat, from the Rat King, then they're not gonna be an issue. Basically, I kind of lost what I was trying to say here, but that can happen, you know. So because the Rat King decreases the countdown on the bombs by 1 turn, and that's gonna put you in a pickle. This team right here, 364k power. My god, very nasty. You know what? Let's bring in my Brackus, and I have actually less power. Power doesn't matter, guys. I'm repeating it because a lot of times I'm seeing comments, Skratch, that team had 250k power and you had 300k. That's why you managed to win, you know, because you had more player power. But it's not what determines the factor. It's not like in other games where that's what really makes the difference, you know. And we haven't managed to remove the Stone Skin from that Nacret, unfortunately. But let's try to get their damage dealer down, and bang! Look at that, beautiful. So right now we are pretty sorted. We managed to easily counter Lydia, and how I mentioned, it can be amazing for tag team arena too. Luckily, I do have a second DPS, so it's not going to be a problem. my DPS champions are actually pretty slow at the moment. Some of them that are built for Platinum Arena, so I can't really do this thing in the best possible way, you know. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So we found our Tormin team, guys, right here. Now I removed Madame Series because she brings in that passive, right, which gives her a shield at the beginning of the turn, so she gets a chance to freeze against Tormin, so that would be pretty pointless. So I brought in another nuker. You can use Rhyme the Conjurer, for example, instead of Madame Series. I just don't have her built at the moment. But I want to show you that you can actually make a thing that works against Torments, right? Yes, with Doom Priest is a bit of an RNG maybe with her A1 because puts the crit rate buff, you know. But there we go. Rhonda did her thing. We're gonna revive. You can do that, freeze, and right now we can buff, bring in the first nuke. It's a bit more dangerous with Gambo as well, but I didn't really have another nuker built. And right now we can go with Alika, for example, and bang, take everybody down. Pretty straightforward. Doom Priest is gonna come in, do a bit of work for us, you know. We're gonna want to make sure we're killing the Tormin before anyone else, but Alika's A2 hits so damn hard that he has 0 chances to survive. Look at that. 128k hit. Get out of here, Tormin. So this can work pretty spot on against Tormins too. I know a lot of people were always saying Cardinal doesn't work against Tormins. Cardinal doesn't work against bomb champions. Cardinal doesn't work against Lydias. So many things, but hey, there's solutions for all of these things if you really want to make them happen. So hopefully this video was helpful for some of you guys out there. Maybe you're going to improve your classic arena team. You're going to improve your tag team arena team, and will allow you to kind of like get more medals or progress into a higher tier. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.